welcome to tonight's Big Brother 18 chat.
Oh my god, it's like episode 4 chat. Alright, so...
Oh boy.
Frank secretly nominated Paul
because
as the roadkill.
The roadkill winner.
Right.
So this was done in secret, and it's the third nominee. It's kind of a big deal. What do you think?
I think it was a good choice.
Okay.
Alright, so Jose, his target's Paulie to go.
Of course it's not going to be himself, and he's working with Paul, so...
He's pretty confident that Paulie's going to go.
Yeah.
Because he's Jose.
He's the Messiah, according to himself.
He runs the house.
We run this, bitch!
He's like,
we'll get there.
Obama. Yeah.
We'll get there.
Alright, so... He's got a little delusional problem, though, because, well, before he thought that Paulie was the winner of the roadkill competition, now he's pretty sure it's Michelle.
I feel like he went through each house guest and was like, it's this one, it's this one, it's this one. So now it's Michelle's turn because she looked down during the ceremony.
Yeah.
No, what? Okay.
He looked at everybody, and she was the only one who was looking down during the ceremony.
When I was reading this in updates, they were like, oh, she smirked during the ceremony. There was not even a smirk. It was literally a...
Yeah.
Come on!
Well, Jose's really, really overconfident. And I don't know if he's just, like, overconfident for the cameras and, like, on the inside he's dying.
I don't know.
Because that's, like, his defense mechanism, or could he quite possibly be the most delusional Big Brother contestant ever in the history of the U.S. show?
I really hope for his own sake that it's just for the cameras. Because I would be scared for him in real life if that's really what's going on there.
I just don't know.
I don't know, but remember when Nicole went to comfort Paul after he was nominated, and he's just really into that pickle.
Hey, some people like pickles, some people don't, Amber.
Some people like bananas.
Yeah.
Some people like a Frankenstein pickle in a banana peel. It will never go away. It's always going to be in my head.
I know. Alright, so Paul and Victor call in Bronte and Natalie because...
The four of them are very close.
Right. Paul mostly noticed that Bridget is flirting a lot with Paulie.
Yeah, and Paulie and Bridget are on the same team.
But Bridget is supposedly in this spy girl, spy boy alliance that, you know,
yeah,
they
the
have.
Revolution, they call themselves.
Alright, so...
So he's like, is Bridget going to be loyal to us, or is she going to stay with her team and keep Paulie? What's the deal with that? And the girls are like, I don't know, we'll see. But they're also drooling over Paulie.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he's so hot.
Oh my god, have you ever seen anybody with abs like that?
I feel like every time we see Natalie, she's going...
Yeah.
Every time!
I'm waiting for her to go over to him and say, drop him.
No!
Alright,
let's talk about the veto competition. It's time to pick players, and it's a little different this season because there are 3 nominees.
Right. And the HOH. So they only need 2 more because they only want to ever have 6 players playing on the veto competition.
Right. So Nicole, as the HOH, is drawing the names, and there's a new rule this year. If one of the nominees or the HOH's name gets pulled...
Because everybody's name is in there. They didn't take out the nominees or the HOH.
If somebody who's already playing, their name gets pulled, that person gets to pick. It's like a house guest choice.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so Nicole picks out the first name, and it's Davon!
Woo!
Nice choice if you like the vets. And we do. Second choice, I pick myself.
Oh my god, guys, it's me!
So she gets to pick Corey. Whatever, but...
Alright, well, this was not a good draw for Jose. He was all sad clown after the drawing.
So right after Frank and Tiny Guy, James.
How funny is it to see James and Frank just standing next to each other? I could watch that all day.
It was nice of him to say, hey, let's bump hips instead of you bumping on my, like, genitals.
No!
So after they celebrate, Frank's like, you know what? I'm gonna do some damage control and like perpetuate this enigma here, and
What are you saying?
I'm gonna make Jose think I'm on his team.
There you go. Yes.
So that was fun.
All right. You know what else is fun? Sometimes?
Pranks.
Sometimes. Let's not get ridiculous here.
All right. Well, this one was pretty fun. Paul was pretty much blackout drunk on the sofa.
Yeah, they didn't explain that Paul was freaking wasted that night.
Wasted. It's dangerous to sleep like that too. I think they were really doing him a favor.
No,
he didn't want to choke on his own vomit.
He was passed out on the couch like this, so then James puts the friggin'
whipped cream.
I don't know if it was whipped cream or shaving cream.
It looked like whipped cream. He puts it on his hand, and then Corey comes over with the old tissue and is like, tickle your nose?
Well, it didn't work.
Nope, so they just put a plop of whipped cream on his mouth, and he was like, hey, where'd this come from?
You guys got me. Good one.
Alright, it's time for the veto competition. Let's stop fooling around.
It's serious here.
The squirrel cop is gonna arrest you.
Yes!
Gotta love the squirrel.
I love the squirrel cop. I love like the dinosaur and stuff in that little van or whatever that was.
That was great. They always have to have the squirrel and the dinosaur.
Love it.
Alright, so it's a doggy theme.
They were all dressed up like Scooby-Doos. The dog heads that they were wearing were hilarious.
They were adorable. I see Canada is having a real influence here, and I am loving it.
Are they?
I'm living for it, yeah.
Why is that Canadian, though?
Because America never had such cool costumes.
I don't know. They've had some pretty cool costumes. Don't be like that. All right.
I noticed the difference.
Well, Michelle also was dressed up, but she was a fire hydrant. They go pee-pee on her.
She was, yeah. All right. So Nicole likes Corey.
Ew! It's a good thing they weren't dressed up like goats. Maybe he'd try to light them on fire. Yeah. Yeah.
She better just wise up.
Nicole, stay away from Corey.
All right. So the whole purpose of this is
It's called Dizzy Dogs, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
You have to build up your stash of bones. I think there was like 40?
Something like that.
40 something.
40.
First you gotta go on this stand and spin. All I kept thinking was stand to pee.
No!
You know that thing for girls so that they could pee like guys?
Okay, that's not where my mind went.
Degrassi, I'm
That's
forever
not where my
scarred.
mind went.
Alright, so you stand to pee 15 times, and then you have to run over and stack as many dog biscuits as you can in 45 seconds, but you have to make it back to the stand and pee in 45 seconds or you're out.
You gotta type in your code in the hatch.
Right. So if the clock gets to 0 before you get back to the stand and pee, you're out.
So you better use your time wisely.
I could see nobody was a dancer in this group because they were all like...
Yeah, it looked like Davon was spotting those turns.
Yeah, she was still quite stumbly.
A lot of people were like going into each other's lanes and it got really crazy. And I think the fun part about this is that there was no set way
to do it.
To stack the bones.
You just had to do it.
Yeah.
Had to make it happen. And Paul, he came up with this strategy there. He was just going to shove them in between the two little posts.
And then make a crap pile.
Yeah, he made a pile of crap and he won the POV. Like way before anybody else was even close.
It was pretty awesome.
So I got to give you props for that, brah.
I do. So Paul won the power of veto, which means that Frank is going to have to put somebody else up in secret.
But first, Tiffany tells Paulie, Vanessa's my sister.
How do you people not know? She is a carbon copy of Vanessa. Come on.
Okay.
Especially when she's got the sunglasses and like a hat or a hood or something.
Well, Paulie seems to be kind of a carbon copy of Cody as well, so it's very possible that he didn't know.
What?
It's simple.
Okay. Oh, that's mean.
He just doesn't pick up on these things.
Alright.
He's interested in soccer and exercising.
Well, let's talk about Jose's delusions.
He trusts Frank a lot, like enough to tell him everything.
I don't think it's a trust thing. I think Jose feels so comfortable that he can just say anything to anyone. Because that's what he's been doing.
Yeah, pretty much. He called a house meeting for everybody on the Jose team, which is like everybody.
Everybody he thinks is on the team.
Right. So it was a secret meeting. Kind of.
No, it wasn't.
It was a rally to let's vote Paulie out, and he was up there like freaking Mussolini telling everybody, now this is how it's gonna be. I am the Messiah, and everyone should support me, and Paulie needs to go, and there's these situations and scenarios.
Half the people in there are not voting for him. Freaking James crashed in there. Day was in there. Zakiya was in there. They're not voting for him. But they were just like,
We need to stick together. If we wouldn't have any wars or armies or whatever in the world if we all just stuck together.
It was ridiculous, but the best part was Davon's diary room. When she mentioned, hello, he's saying all this in a freaking dog costume.
It was great. So Bridget was sent up to the HOH room to be a fly on the wall up there.
Oh,
which was
so
totally
bad.
Not obvious.
This was so bad on both ends. Okay, so Bridget goes into the HOH room. They're like, "Oh, what are you doing here? You weren't invited." And she's like, "Oh, I was. No, thank you.
I was gonna come up here and like. No.
It was so bad. And then Bronte in the have not room was like, "Oh, Bridget's upstairs, listening."
Yeah.
Bridget's upstairs right now. Listening.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. So Jose sitting at the kitchen table, and
Paulie's just like, what the F is going on? Why did you have this meeting without me?
Why'd you call a meeting? And
Jose was all Real Housewives. He's like, I am just speaking my truth. We have freedom of speech. I control what comes out of my mouth. You do?
Yeah.
You might want to work on that control a little bit.
He's like, scenario. He had like a couple of key words that he kept going back to, like scenarios.
Couple buzzwords.
Messiah. We run this
Vote
house.
out Paulie.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really hard to figure out what he was trying to say because it just was not working.
It wasn't coherent, and Paul was even just like,
yeah.
Can I just eat my frozen pizza?
Yeah.
Do I have to actually listen to this?
Was it Paul or Victor? I know Victor was there.
They were both there.
Okay.
But Paul, they kept showing Paul, and Paul was just like...
Yeah.
Alright, so it's time for the POV ceremony, and Paul uses it on himself. Duh, who wouldn't?
Well, he wasn't so sure earlier in the week, so you never know with these people.
Oh my god. So Bridget is the replacement nomination. She's a little bit worried. Girl, you don't have to worry about a thing.
No, but, I wouldn't mind seeing her go soon. I'm sorry, she's like really bland and she's not good at this game so far. I mean, the spying thing was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Everybody's saying that this is like such a strong girl season, but...
some of them are very strong.
Some of them are very strong and some of them are not.
Alright, well let us know what you guys think in the comments. And until tomorrow, blind side of the century. Much love.
Edit.